Welcome to the Hopeful Podcast, where we talk about how our faith in God, with God, and because of God gives us hope each and every day. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode.
Hey guys! So we are here at Waioli Kitchen and Bake Shop in Manoa, and we have the pleasure of talking to this wonderful woman right here named Dida. And this is... Oh, Nicole. I am Alex. Sorry. Not really good at intros, but we're getting better at it. But so we got a little bit from Auntie Steph and Uncle Ross of how God has been working in your life, but we wanted to hear from you. So how has God been working in your life? We heard about a really exciting thing that just happened. Mm-hmm. You got invited to the Supreme Court. Am I okay?
What?
Crazy. So how did that come to be? Can I give you the mic? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I know it seems a little just keep it right. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. Is this okay? About 4 years ago, I got out of prison, but prison has been a revolving door for me. So I have maybe over 30 years in and out of prison. And so this last time while I was incarcerated, I lost my mom. And my big brother is actually a pastor. So they started this house. It's called the House of Ruth. It's in Wahiawa. And it's for women coming out of prison and transitioning. So I was actually the first one to enter the house, and I decided to give Jesus a try.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So fast forward, this is actually the longest I've ever been out of prison in the last 30 years. And it's been the most fulfilling. I found my purpose. So I believe God has called me to the mission field. I'm actually getting ready to go on my 4th mission to Samoa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Samoan.
Me too.
Oh, hey. I knew we had a connection.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I went once to Hamakua, once to Manila, and then twice to Samoa. This will be my second time back to Samoa.
Oh, that's amazing.
God has done amazing things.
Wow.
Every single thing that was supposed to be a no for me has been a yes. So a little bit about my background. One of the things that was a stopper for me was I used to make fake passports. And so one of my stipulations was from the judge that I was not allowed to get a passport. But when I said yes to missions and I answered the call, God opened the door and they overturned the stipulation.
Wow.
And I was able to get passport.
Wow. That's good.
It's been God breaking barriers in my life. This is the longest I've held a job, the longest I've been out, the longest I've been sober. And I do believe it's because I've completely surrendered to serving the Lord. But not only that, I picked up the vision of my church and I ran with it.
Oh, that's good.
Which I've been successful.
Wow.
Been really, really successful.
Yeah.
So now I run the House of Ruth. I manage the house. I communicate with the women coming out of prison, even helping some come off the streets. We also have a backing of Teen Challenge for drug rehab. So it's been a huge network of support within the church. Right, faith-based, and it's all God, right? It's all God. I never thought I would ever get off paper. And last night I maxed out on the state, and I'm 60 days to maxing out with the feds.
Wow. That's Jesus. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Man, God is moving in and through your life, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I love how what you're saying, it really just started from just full surrender. It's like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna give Jesus a try.
Yeah.
And really I feel like it starts with that by just saying, okay, Lord, I'm gonna give you a try. And then just see what he does. And so that's amazing to see how he's been working in you but also through you to bring other people to him. And wow, okay, traveling around, she said, we're gonna go across country to get people for Jesus. That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh no, that's good. And so I kind of wanted to ask what gives you hope? What continues to sustain you through these challenging times, or through all the different things or places that God's been taking you to? What continues to keep you grounded?
I think what keeps me grounded is seeing how God reveals himself to me in every season, right? Through the ups and the downs. God has brought me through some serious challenges, to places where, man, I wanted to give up, right? But he's taught me to pour myself into other people like me. And I think by serving others, it's given me strength, because I've been through some things as a leader. But God stretches my capacity to love. Right, because the background I come from was very selfish, very self-centered, taker for a long time, and now I'm a giver. So loving. Like he's really stretched my capacity to love others, to see them as Jesus sees them, right? To break my heart for really what breaks the Lord's. And I really believe going on the mission field has kept me grounded, right? Because I'm on fire. I love missions.
That's
like
good.
I love missions. I never thought the only time I've ever been on a plane prior to going to the mission field was to go from prison to prison.
Wow, yeah.
Right? And so the first time I ever got on an airplane was to go to my first mission.
Wow.
Right?
Wow,
And so God is
amazing.
like breaking barriers. He showed me that I can be more than what I was, that prison is not my inheritance, right? And prison and drugs is not my inheritance. That doesn't define me anymore, right? So the hope is really in Jesus. And when you find your purpose with the Lord, there's no limit to where he'll take you. Right? Like when I look back and I think of the goodness of God, God's mercy, it brings me to tears because everything that I thought was unattainable for somebody like me, God has broke those barriers down. Right? And so when I see someone like me struggling, I just tell them, trust God. Right? Because we never know. We just really never know.
No, that's good. That's good. It's like really good because it's like, I feel like I've been through that space where it's like, hey, Lord, like, what are you calling me to? But I like what you're saying. It's like, hey, Lord, break my heart for what breaks yours. And truly, it's that thing of like, okay, what breaks my heart? And whatever is breaking my heart, that's what he's calling me to. Because what we're going through is not for no reason, but it's so that his name can be glorified. And so we can bring other people who've been through this similar situation to him. So they say, oh, wow, there's someone like me that actually has found this life and this fullness of joy. And like, wow, I want what they have. And then that's when we're able to open up that door to say, hey, it's Jesus, man. That's the whole reason, the joy and where he's taking me to is because of him. So that's amazing. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, Tina. No, thank you so much. That was really encouraging, and congratulations on it's called going off paper. Uncle Ross just taught us that term earlier. I did not know what that was. But that is amazing work that you do, and you're heading the House of Ruth now. You're like managing. So tell us a little bit about that. So you are communicating with the prisons and having people come out. So what is the process for all of that? I'm just curious because
it's kind of a long process for federal women who come home. Majority of them come home under house arrest. It's called home confinement. So they'll come home under house arrest and they're confined to the house unless we have certain stuff that we have to do. For the women's prison, the state prison, it's a longer process. We got to send them a acceptance letter. We have to communicate with their case manager and then wait for the parole board to see if they'll get parole to us. The House of Ruth is very, very, very structured. And so majority of the time when I communicate with the women, I let them know we are not regular clean and sober living. We're faith-based, structured. Everything we do is surrounded by Jesus. I'm talking, we wake up to morning prayer. We have evening classes that we take. We have connect groups. We serve in everything because we are one church in 7 locations.
Oh, nice.
And so our mother church is at Red Hill. We have functions all the time. And God has really taught us to pour out. All of us are employed. We all work full time, but we also serve the Lord full time. So I try to make them understand that this is not regular clean and sober living, but if you really want to get off the drugs and you really want to be successful, then it has to be Jesus. It has to be Jesus.
Right? That's good. That's good. Wow. Oh my goodness. House of Ruth. Oh wow. Okay, I love that. That's and just starting somewhere and then bringing you to leadership. Wow, that's really good. No, that's good. That's good. I just had a question. Like, so if you had any encouragement for anybody out there that is going through a difficult time, or they feel like there's no open doors, everything has just been closing, and they just are looking for a little bit of hope, would you be able to give them just an encouraging word from what you've learned or what God has been revealing or showing you?
I would have to say, get connected.
Well, like
it
that.
starts with getting connected because it's so important to have a covering. Now, I'm not recommending a church. I'm recommending you find somewhere to go, somewhere you feel comfortable, somewhere that people can cover you, right? Because I believe the covering for me was important, because if I don't show up to something, everybody's calling me, where are you? What's going on? You know? If my spiritual family even gets a dream about me, they'll call me, you know? It's like, what? No. Someone to hold you accountable. accountable.
That's
right?
good.
Someone
Yeah.
who cares
That's
to
good.
do life with you.
Yeah.
Because God never created us to do life alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
That's
We
good.
need each other. That's the most important thing, is that we need each other. And I think people have this thing in their mind thinking that I can do this by myself. You know what I mean? Or it's this mentality of rubbing the genie in the bottle and expecting God to answer your prayers, but it's
Yeah.
deeper than that.
Yeah.
Right? It's deeper than that. And you're never gonna know what deep is unless you get connected somewhere. Right? Because
that's
you
good.
need someone to lead you. I had to learn, because my prison mentality was, I'll read my Bible and I'll pray.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Right? And in prison, there's different churches that come all day. And I would go to all the different churches.
Yeah.
But I never understood the importance of coming under a covering where they could teach me
Yeah.
how to love Jesus and show me and walk with me.
Yeah.
Because I've never done this before. This is the road I never took, and it was very uncomfortable. And it was a lot of breaking of the old self, right? Which I had to trust them enough to allow them to speak into my life and correct me, right? Because correction, correction.
Our favorite thing, right? Our favorite thing.
But coming under the covering is so important.
Yeah, that's
right?
so good.
You gotta find a
Yeah.
family to get connected in.
Yeah, yeah. And that's so, because I feel like oftentimes it's that part of being vulnerable that people don't want. And when you get connected somewhere, then it starts revealing things and unpeeling layers that it's like, ooh, I don't know if I'm ready. But honestly, that's where you're able to you're able to grow, is when people are able to see you, love you for who you are, and correct you in love.
Yes.
And wow, so I love that. And I love how what you're saying, that you came under the vision of the church.
Yes.
And that's when things started to flourish. And I think it's submitting to God and submitting to the places that He's placed you in, and being obedient in that, and just seeing the fruits of what's going to happen through that obedience. And so, wow, thank you so much. Girl, I agree. Get connected.
Yes, get connected.
Especially, I think, coming out of what we came out of in, the pandemic, where everybody's so isolated. We're all so used to, I got it. Like, no, I can do this life. I can do it. And we keep trying to do it by ourselves, but it's too heavy.
Yes.
The weight is way too heavy. And I think even for believers, even when we think, oh yeah, no, it's just me and Jesus, like, just, it can get very difficult and lonely too when it's just us just reading our Bible and not going out and not actually being a part of a church, because it's in the church that we're corrected, it's in the church that we're loved and we're pushed closer to Him. And so, wow, no, thank you. So that was a word. That was a word. I wanted to ask, so we just interviewed Ross and Steph, Uncle Ross and Steph, and so I kind of wanted to hear a little bit of story how you came to Waioli Kitchen, and what God has been doing in and through Waioli for you.
So one of my sisters, Tiff, used to work here, and Tiff was actually one of their first. And when I got out of prison this time, Tiff is my very, very close sister. I got out of prison and I was struggling to find a job. I was out for maybe about a month. Then finally I got hired at Zippy's, and Tiffy called me and she's like, "Sister, we need a baker." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to do two jobs," but I said, "Okay, I'll come down." And I met Steph and Ross, and immediately just clicked. We just clicked, and boss hired me on the spot. Right? So I ended up starting here actually before I started at Zippy's. And this kind of became like a safe place, right? Because of the structure, because how boss them are pouring into us. It's peaceful, especially for a kitchen, right? And then I'd go to Zippy's and it's like horrible. It was crazy, and it was just like, so coming here became a safe place. Boss really poured into me. We've been through things, ups and downs together. He's so patient with us, right? Steph used to come out to the house and do classes with us, and she'd take us hiking, and we used to do exercise out here, and she's, in the beginning, she really poured into us, right? As Waioli, as the House of Root. And boss has hired many of our girls straight out of prison. Just immediately, okay, bring them in tomorrow, And they've actually been really good to us. Really, really good. Really good to me, Yeah.
No, that's so good. Yeah, no, I was just wanting to ask, because I know they were saying just what they've been doing here and the mission of what, like the true mission that goes beyond the food. And so I think of I was amazed by the story of what's been happening. But no, thank you so much for sharing. And I'm just so grateful and thankful that we get to see what God's been doing in and through your life. And I know that greater things are to come. And we're excited for the missions and more stories and more ways of how He's going to use you. And so, yeah, thank you. Thank you for all of this. And we're so, we're glad. And
And so thank you guys for watching. We hope you got a little bit of hope throughout your day and throughout your week. And we just want to let you guys know that hope is found in him, with him, and because of him. Okay, guys, till the next time. Thank you. Thank you so much.